Alright, here we go. We got a pile of weather stripping, and we got this 3M black super weather strip and gasket adhesive. Basically, this stuff is really good, and it's not too much money. It only comes in a 5 fluid ounce. This is the biggest one that part store had. I don't know how much I need, so we'll just figure this out. But yeah, I got the full kit of weather stripping. I actually ordered this probably about 5 months ago. I've had it since, but now is finally the time to do it. All the weather stripping has the part number and it has writing in English where it's supposed to go, so this shouldn't be too hard to figure out. Like, we got hood weather stripping, door mains. This is what I'm most excited about, the window vertical spot. This is what is missing in the car, and when I wash it, it just leaks into the car, or if it gets rain, it's just going to be awful. So, and then we got the T-top weather stripping, and I've been reading that the T-top weather stripping is very difficult. We'll figure that out. So I'll bring you over here real quick. See, I got the driver's side T-top off. So I already removed this when I painted, and I left the little rivet studs in, except for this one broke off, which will be fine. And yeah, so this is the worst of all the weather stripping on both sides. Passenger side too, it's just, that's awful. I think this is called a pillar post. We have the door weather stripping, which is this thing, I believe. And then T-top weather stripping. See if I can lift it. So I believe the weather stripping comes with the metal thing, and the metal is all rotted out on both sides, especially the passenger side. Yeah, believe it's going to take care of that. The only thing I don't have with the T-top weather stripping kit is this side rubber piece. I need all new side rubber because this is just toast. So I might just have to take the rubber off, or I don't know. I'll figure something out. Eventually I'll get it all taken care of correctly. But for now, let's work on these, since these will be the easiest and the most satisfying, because they're actually going to do the most. Alright, so for this pillar piece, this is the left-hand side, it's called, basically the driver's side. Rubber is nice and soft, it's not going to break the window or anything. I heard people saying that. So there's little holes for the rivet stud to just kind of slip in. I don't know much more than that. But I'm going to lay a bead of this weather stripping adhesive just along this. You could probably just put it on. I might just put it on the actual rubber trim. That might be easier. And then I gotta tuck it in and make sure I get a nice goop here so I don't have any leaks. Alright, no idea if this is correct, but I put a very thin bead onto here, even to the little corner, and then I put a little thin bead on the back side, and I'm letting it get tacky, and it should just about be ready. Yep, it's ready. Alright, here it is. So, yeah, that's not too bad at all. I had tape in case I needed to tape it in place, but it's kind of being held pretty good. Once you figure out how to insert the little studs into it, it's really no big deal. All it is just line it up and push it in. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll start working on another seal. Alright, so I had to take off the door panel to do the door gaskets, or the door seals. So they have two different spots where they actually bolt to the door. So there's this with one screw here, it's kind of tight fit, and then there's two screws back here, another tight fit, and then it just kind of wraps around, hugs around, and then there's two screws, one back here and one right here. I was missing the screw here, so that's why I got all these screws out. So I just found one that worked, put it in, and then I just did a thin strip of the gasket adhesive stuff all the way around. Put some tape in the areas that were just need a little help to seal. And yeah. So when you set the gasket stuff on, the weather strip adhesive, this stuff, just let it sit for like 2 to 3 minutes, and then it's tacky and it's perfect, and then you can start sealing it. So it came out pretty good. I had some spots with just little goop showing, but that's fine. I made sure the window still rolls up and down with this stuff, so yeah. If you do end up using your own hardware for like this screw, make sure it's not too long so you're not scratching the window. And yeah, so this side's all done. Just gotta let it cure. I actually ordered the clip for this lock cylinder since I don't have one, and I'm just not gonna put the door panel on until I get that clip in, since I have to take it off anyways. So yeah, that's all in. It's really not that bad. Just took some time to take the door panel off. So I gotta do the same side there, and then we'll work on the pillars. So I made a mess taking the old weather stripping out. This is the driver's side pillar weather stripping. Got the new one just kind of fitted in there. It has spots for screws, but the screws actually go through, so I guess you could do self-tappers, I guess, but from what I've read and just from looking at it, it makes more sense to just seal it with the adhesive stuff. So I already test fit it, make sure it fits in and the door closes. This stuff, like especially this one, this is like hard rubber. Everything else is the nice flexible weather stripping, but this is like hard rubber, so it's kind of difficult to close, and I'm not even going to dare closing the door with the window up because it's probably just going to shatter the glass. So I guess it's normal for new weather stripping to be stiff. It's just going to take a little for it to kind of weaken and wear in. So I'm going to do a strip of adhesive and then plop this back into place, glue it in, and yeah, and then the best way to hold this into place will be to close the door, put the window up, and it will be nice and sealed, and I can let it sit like that for a while. Alright, so working on the hood weather stripping, apparently this is a thing. The seal just goes all the way around here. This is super hard. I actually broke a piece off and it was rock solid with my fingers, so I'm just scrape it off with a screwdriver most likely. I'm not worrying about paint because it's the underside of the hood. Who cares on this car? So I'll just pull it off, and then it looks like it just gets kind of glued into place with that 3M weather stripping adhesive. Alright, got the new hood weather stripping in. It wasn't too bad, just glue it in, and then I had a helper to set it all into place and all that. So now I'm working on the T-tops. This is the last of the weather stripping kit, and because this is the glass T-tops, I don't have to take off any trim, at least I don't think so. I'm working on the seals. They have like this plastic like push screw sort of thing, so I'm just doing a classic double screwdriver, one on each side, then pop it out just like you do with interior clips. Alright, so this is the driver's side T-top. As you can see, I got the old weather stripping off. Very like corrosive over here. I'm sure the passenger side, the one that leaked, was even worse. Yep, so I had to drill out 3 of the 4 screws that mount the weather stripping to this base section of the T-top. So these 3 I drilled out. This one was able to come out, and then I used one of my extractors. It's right here. This is like a easy out extractor sort of deal. That one pulled the screw out of this one clean, so I have 2 usable threads. These 2, the head ripped off of the screw, so I need to come up with a new method or just use extra weather strip adhesive to glue it in, since I'm going to glue it in anyways. So I think if I end up with just adhesive over this instead of fixing the threads, I don't think I would have a real problem. I don't think you would ever even be able to tell, honestly.
Alright, so we got the car on the street, it's all finished. I actually wasn't able to include much more footage really on the T-tops. I just randomly got sick out of nowhere, so it's been a couple days, but I finally got it. So as you can see, there's a little gap here. You can play with the window some more, but I don't really have the time to keep playing with it. I need to start packing. So I got that. It's all together at least. And then this side, the gaps, I played with a little bit, so it's a little better. Just a little, small little gap right there. I'm not still sure about this piece. I remember this being outside the glass. I don't know, it's kind of weird. But with new weather stripping, it's kind of difficult to close, so I just got to keep slamming it. Got to leave everything shut so it kind of helps soften the rubber. This is pretty soft rubber, but it's still hard. It's going to take some time before it's actually nice. Putting the T-tops back in was pretty hard. They did not want to go in because the rubber is so thick on the T-tops. So I had to get another person to help me push down while I press the lash up. But yeah, this is all together. Weather stripping's all done. So this car is completely done for the time being. And yeah, all my stuff is going to be packed up and shipped out tomorrow. The car is going to be with me for another 2 weeks before that gets shipped out. And then I fly out there. So next time I do something to this car really will be in Georgia. Maybe I'll make another driving video, one last driving video in California. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.